Hey guys, it's me, Cupid. I have schizophrenia. Um, I plan to do a video one of these days, not about schizophrenia, but kind of has to do with a conversation that I had in my last and my second episode. Um, I want to do a video on my beliefs as to why gay is not a sin. Um, what I came up with when I was having those deep conversations with the super religious voices. Today I want to do a couple of stories. That's all I'm going to do for today because I have plenty of things that we can talk about later on in the week, but I thought today would be a good day to kind of tell some of my experiences. Um, first off, my voices. I know I've talked about this before, but my voices, who they are, everyone I know, some people that I barely know, um, people I've never met, people surrounded by are like people in the lives of the people that I have met. So like family members of people I know, but I've never met them, and just things like that. So there are people, all kinds of people, but they're all living usually, most of them. There are some that are not living, as far as what I know. I do have a very spiritual belief about my schizophrenia, so yes, it may not be your belief system, but I do believe that there is some realness to the things that happen to me. So, be, I mean, not everything that happens is real, but I know that our brains play tricks on us. So yes, I may not be perfect at the spiritual side. I may not know everything that is happening. It may not be 100% real all the time. But there are certain things that I know for sure are real because they've been proven to be real. And that's what's scary sometimes. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about different instances where I did some crazy stuff in regards to things that were being told to me and how I would go crazy on the people because I thought they were doing crazy things to me. Um, so let's see, when everything first started, I thought there was a girl that I knew crawling in the walls. As soon as she disappeared, everything got dark. Like everything just seemed like it was fake. None of it was real. Nothing was real anymore. And the only way to find the reality was to find her. That was the only way I was going to get to find reality. And I ended up going crazy trying to find her. I even messaged her a bunch of times, trying really hard to figure out where she was, and um, I even got really pissed at her and said some things that I probably shouldn't have said. Um, she knew I had mental health issues though, so it was kind of like she was more worried about me than anything, which was good. Um, she did not know I had schizophrenia though. Nobody knew at that point. So that was one instance. That was the first instance. My second episode, there was another girl that I thought was following me. Happened to be a girl that I was dating right before everything started, and I didn't go crazy on her. I just messaged her constantly, flirting with her, and she wouldn't respond. And like just like every now and again, I'd send her another message. I even sent her guardian, not guardian. What do you call that? Her godmother, a message and was flirting with her too. I was being cute and funny. I thought she was there still, so to me it was like I was just responding back to the voice, uh, but in person. So there was that. Um, Now in my third episode, I did a lot crazier stuff than, well, there were certain things that happened in my second episode that were pretty bad too. Like I blocked a whole bunch of people because I thought that they were out to get me. So I blocked them on all kinds of social media. I even blocked them all on my mom's social media. Um, just people that I knew, I would make sure I'd tell them to block them. Just things like that. I went I went all out. But I didn't do anything crazy to people. I didn't do anything crazy really until my last episode. And again, there was another girl in this episode. I was madly in love with this girl, probably more than any other girl. Um, and I kept talking to her in response to the voice in my head. So like I'd hear her talking to me or saying things, and it was not always like the best things that you want to hear, but I was responding to them. And so I sent her a billion messages, like I don't know how many, but I just kept sending them, kept sending them, kept sending them, just in response to the voice in my head. And I was drinking, so it made it worse. I was uh, not fully there with everything. Um, and then there were certain things that ended up happening. I stopped messaging her because I was like, I don't know. Like there was things that I questioned. Like there were times where I questioned it, and then there was times where I was fully in. I was like, I believe everything that's happening. I know it's true. It has to be true. Nothing else. But then there were certain times where it was like, why hasn't she shown herself? Why haven't they shown themselves? Why don't they give me some sort of proof? Why is this not, how are they able to do this? There were times where I'm like that, but then there was times where it was like it was proven that they were there. Like there were certain things that just showed up that was like they there was like one time where um I went to the doctor's and the voice in my head on the way back was the girl's voice, and she told me exactly what they ended up telling me was wrong with me. Um, and it was weird. It was really weird. But they didn't tell me that until after she told me it. So I was on the way home from the doctor's, and then I got my results later on in the day. But when I was on the way home, she told me, and I was like, yeah, well, that makes sense. And I remember having a conversation with her about it. And then later on, that's exactly what's wrong. Um, and I know that that's not like, okay, that's not 100%, but there were like things that she told me about herself as a voice. And then I ended up finding out about as the real person would tell me. Um, it's weird. So there was certain things, and there was other things too because there was other people, and they would tell me things, and then they would come true with the person. Um, and it just like I started to believe. I really did get those moments where I believe it. I believe it. But then I was like, I question certain things about you guys because I know that if you're human, you're not 100% honest all the time. You're probably not going to tell me the full truth, and you're probably not going to want me to know the whole truth. So I questioned some of the things. Um, I even questioned whether she was the person in the photos still. I questioned whether she was just a stalker or there were certain things that I questioned, and I wondered what was happening. I questioned how they were legitimately able to watch me on cameras. They told me different theories. They also said that they were able to do it through certain things. Um, so I ended up going crazy on her again. um, I don't remember what it was that happened. I remember that it was like I had been waiting for her to appear. Like she was supposed to come. She was supposed to come. She was supposed to meet me, and she didn't. And I remember her telling me her reasoning behind why she still hasn't showed her face, and it really upset me. And then there was things that started happening that I started feeling like I was sick and dying, and I did not know what to believe about her anymore, so I, again, responding to the voice in my head, started saying a bunch of stuff to her. Then there was the the very end of my episode. I felt like people were raping me purposely, trying to get back at me for things. I posted the whole conversation I had with them online. The whole conversation about what was happening, what was being said. My response to them is what I was saying. Um, I would respond to them. And the reason why I did that was because I didn't know if they knew what I was saying. I didn't know if they were really on camera watching me, or really I was on camera and they were watching me, whatever. I didn't know if that was 100% true. So I responded to them as though they were real. Um, I announced things that were probably not real. I said a lot of crazy stuff. I didn't know what to believe at that point. It seemed so real. There's like no question about it. It was so real. I could even see them sometimes there with me, trying to harass me and watching me, and then they called it astral projecting. They were astral projecting or whatever, um, which was even worse because that was something that also the girl had done to me. The girl had not done to me, but well, she was a part of the stuff that was happening to me at the end. She wanted them to do those things to me. She was also doing those things to me. Um, but she also astral projected quite a few times throughout the time. Um, there was there was a lot of things that I do have to admit that if I had known it was real, I wouldn't have done. I would have reacted in a different way had I known the truth. And now I have to look at it like I made a mistake, and probably big mistakes. And, they could have cost me a lot of things. They could have cost me a lot more than they already did. Um, but that's one thing about schizophrenia, is that you could be so lost in it that you end up getting yourself into a really bad situation. And I've gotten myself into really bad situations many times outside of those things, that those were just me going crazy on people without um, knowledge of what was going on. But like there's other things that I got myself into really bad situations because I didn't know what was real. So I I get how people feel. I know, obviously, I have schizophrenia. Um, I don't think that we should beat ourselves up about it. I know that I beat myself up about it a lot. Um, I'm the hardest on myself out of all people. I beat myself up more than I could ever do to anyone else. I always give everyone else second chances, but I never give myself a second chance. I always give people third chances, never give myself even a second chance. I am my worst critic, and everything that I do is so much worse to me than anything anyone else can do. And I hate that. I hate that about me. I hate that about everything. Um, so I don't think that we should beat ourselves up. I don't think that that it's such a horrible thing that we, like there's reasons. At least we have a good reason. There was something that was happening that we couldn't tell the whole truth. We didn't know what the whole truth was. Um, I really do believe that there is more to it than we even know. And sorry, I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. I'm kind of didn't really. I do think I have to admit that there's my stories are still really hard to tell online, especially when people talk really badly about it. I not that I have a lot of people that are talking really badly, but it's me opening up to the world, and for me to do that, it took a lot of effort to be able to do that, and so I don't want. I had a couple people who gave me shit yesterday for my video, and my video was just meant to help people, nothing more. Um, and I don't know what it is that I did wrong that would cause them to be so rude. It did kind of set me off. I ended up having a lot of voices because of it, and it kind of messed with me. So now I'm kind of like trying to figure out how to put these into words in a way that people would understand. And I do want to bring it back to a positive note. I did things that I will regret probably forever, and they were not the best of things to do. And I know that there's a lot of people with schizophrenia, if not all people with schizophrenia, that have done these things. I have treatment that I'm taking care of now. I take medicine. I go to treatment. I also work on my spiritual side. I meditate now every single night. I I talk to the good voices. I try to pay attention to what is um, real. I look at the good voices as the ones that are telling me what path I need to go down, which is what path in life or what path in the world at the time. If you get what I'm saying, not like a actual walking path. But those I pay attention to those ones because they have always been good to me and they have always been right. And I work very hard on staying sane, um, staying in that mindset that I can live in both worlds still, but yet still remain in the main world that I exist in. If that makes any sense. On a spiritual sense, I'm sure people who are spiritual will get what I'm saying. Um, so yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my video today. Um, I do plan to do more like little talks of storytelling more often because I do think that telling my story will help others to be able to talk about theirs. And I do want people to leave comments about your story. If you had something similar, leave comments down below. Let me know what happened to you, what kinds of things happened that what did you do? Did you go crazy on someone? Make me feel less crazy about the things that I did by telling me your story. And I would love to help you through it too. If you're still dealing with those kinds of issues right now, you're locked out of reality, whatever you want to call it. Um, I would love to be there for you because I know how it feels. Um, have a beautiful day, you guys. Stay beautiful, stay wonderful, stay amazing, stay awesome, stay unique, stay you. And above all else, love yourselves, you guys. Peace and love.